Alright, we are back, and I thought I was going to be able to get this all in on the first video, but I had to do a second one for this droopy cat gnome. We've already done this guy, which has a beard that swishes to the side. It's the same kind of construction as this guy, where you have two parts, the body and the cap. And now we're going to learn how to make a droopy cat gnome that looks like this. So it's pretty simple. It's very similar to the last one. So we'll put this off to the side here for just a moment and grab some clay. And the same as I said in the last video, the size of your gnome really depends on the amount of clay that you get. But this guy is body and cap at the same time, so I'm going to maybe add or gather a little bit more clay than the last one. My last one, I just wanted the first cone to be the body size, or the body shape. And this one's going to be all in one. So I'm just making a ball. It's easiest to start from a ball. And now I'm going to roll out a cone. When I roll out a cone, I am putting my hands kind of at an angle. I'm spreading my fingers so that it tapers, and I get a cone. This part right here has to be flat, so I'm going to come back in and tap that flat and also get rid of the hole that happens at the top of this cone when I start to roll. I want the cap to be fairly tall and skinny, so I'm really rolling this pretty tall. I don't want the base to be huge. This base is about, let's see, the base right now, if I measure it, I have about 2 inches across, and I'm not even done getting it smaller, so it's probably going to be smaller than that, maybe 1.5 inches. Every now and then you want to tap, tap, tap to keep this nice and flat. Alright. As with our other gnome, right now I'm going to go ahead and the first thing is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to move it around. I also turn it as I'm moving it so that I'm not really squishing the walls very much. So this is open like this, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I am smoothed. Try not to add a lot of water. This clay is pretty soft, so I'm trying not to add a lot of water, but I'm going to need to smooth this cone just a little bit. All right. This cap is going to be very pointy, so I'm going to wet my fingers and just pull up and start to bend. And I really want the end to be nice and pointy. The water helps you do that without disturbing the clay too much. So there we go. That's the top of the cap. Now the first thing we're going to do is the beard, so I'm going to move this guy over and grab some clay and roll out a beard. Remember, I taught you guys how to roll a slab, so please be mindful of that. One direction, other direction, flip, one direction, other direction, flip, one direction, other direction, flip. You don't want it to be super skinny because you do want to make sure that you see the beard popping out of the body. You should always, when you roll the slab, this is the slab, smooth it out on both sides. So I'm going with one side and then cleaning off my rib and smoothing the other side. I'm going to go ahead and cut the beard. And every time I cut the beard, it's kind of a different shape. It's always a different shape. So the shape of the beard really is up to you. I just did that shape, like shields kind of. And I'm going to take a little bit of water and start smoothing. Here's my water. I'm going to start smoothing the edges. You do not want any edges in ceramic to be sharp, so we want to smooth, smooth, smooth. I'm going to score. Add a little bit of water. Okay, and now I'm going to very carefully put this up and decide where I want the beard to be, which is kind of like right about there. I like my beard to come almost down to the bottom. And I'm going to push in. Don't want to leave any gaps. Don't want any air getting in there. So pushing this beard in. And then I'm going to take some of this extra clay and make a cute nose. And the nose will also get scored and pop right on. It kind of overlaps the beard. That's what we have right now. So it comes down over the beard. Now I'm going to roll a coil that is going to be the cap, this little separation to create the cap. Moving my gnome over. It's a good idea to start with a pretty big coil, folks, because you can always cut some of it off, but you kind of need to use one coil to go all the way around the back of the gnome. Don't make it too thick. I think my coil is probably the thickness of a pencil should be good. That's a lot of coil. So almost there. Thickness of a pencil is what I'm looking for. I want to make it even, so take care to kind of look at the spots that are thicker and roll those out evenly. Okay? Tap this little bit, and I'm going to give it a score. This is now going to come around, like on top of the nose. Let me grab my gnome again. It's going to go on top of the nose, over the top corner of the beard, so I can tuck it in, and down and around. And that's fine. Instead of using something that really is not working out, it's a much better idea to redo it. Sometimes we feel a little lazy, but it's always a good idea to redo it. The other problem I seem to be having is working backwards. So I'm going to try and again come down. Down, hide that top of the beard, and then scooch around to the back. On the back, it'll meet. I'm going to cut the back off just a little bit. Just turn this guy around in one moment to make sure. Good here. And the back, I'm just kind of cutting it at angles so that it fits right. And there you have your droopy cap gnome. Right? I'm going to go ahead and push this on there. This should have been slipped and scored. I'm moving it in just a little bit. And then I'm going to draw some detail of the beard. So I'm going to just pick this guy up a little. I feel like because I did this backwards, this beard is kind of poking out a little bit. So I'm twisting it. And I'll show you what I mean in 1 second. See, before the beard was showing through this hat trim. Now it's not. So everything has been scored and slipped and attached, and then I'm going to smooth a little with a wet finger. Make sure to connect this back right here. And then I'm going to take either a brush, I think I'm going to use a brush this time, and really make sure that everything is sealed in all the way up. And that is my second one, guys. I'm just making sure that everything is really well sealed. I cannot tell you how important it is to seal everything closed. Okay, at this point, again, it's the lines of the beard, right? So smoothing everything out a little bit, and then maybe I'll do a little wavy beard this time. Always do your beard lines with a pencil. So he's got a little bit of a wavy beard. And I'm going to give him shoes. I have this leftover coil right here. So I'm just going to cut the ends. Cut the ends. This is just the leftover coil from this little cap. And I'm going to cut this in half. Give it a little shape. Some scoring, and now I've got a shoe. Little shoe. I'm going to cut that down a little bit. See, now we've got shoes. If you put shoes on, make sure that this part right here is really well attached and smooth. So I'm attaching the shoe to the bottom of this robe. And you can shape them. You know, I'm going to probably use a wooden knife to shape these guys. And that's it. I'm going to continue decorating because I do like to add things. Like I said before, I'm going to add some stamps to the robe. As you can see, this one's got the stamps. And I might add a little butterfly. That would be really cute. And that, oops, that's gnome number 2.